A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant policy shift, President Donald Trump announced on Wednesday that he would impose a 25% tariff on automobile imports, a move that the White House claims will bolster domestic manufacturing. However, this directive also raises concerns about the financial impact on automakers who rely heavily on global supply chains. During a press conference, Trump stated, "This will continue to spur growth. We'll effectively be charging a 25% tariff." The administration anticipates that these tariffs could generate approximately $100 billion in annual revenue. Yet, the implications of these tariffs are complex. U.S. automakers, including industry giants, source many of their components from various countries, meaning they may face increased costs and potentially lower sales as a result of the new taxes. Shares of General Motors dropped nearly 3% following the announcement, while Ford stock saw a slight increase. Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep and Chrysler, experienced a decline of about 3.6%. Trump's long-standing commitment to tariffs on auto imports is seen as a defining aspect of his presidency, as he believes that the additional cost will incentivize production to return to the United States, ultimately aiding in reducing the budget deficit. However, experts warn that these tariffs may lead to higher vehicle prices and fewer choices for consumers, particularly affecting middle and working-class families. Economist Mary Lovely from the Peterson Institute for International Economics expressed her concerns, stating, "We're looking at much higher vehicle prices. We're going to see reduced choice. These kinds of taxes fall more heavily on the middle and working class. The average price of a new car already hovers around $49,000, and an increase in tariffs could push the cost of imported vehicles up by as much as $12,500, contributing to overall inflation." The tariffs will take effect on April 3rd, and if manufacturers pass on these costs to consumers, it could significantly impact consumer purchasing power. Critics of the tariffs, including foreign leaders, have voiced their disapproval, suggesting that this move could escalate into a broader trade war. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney called the tariffs a very direct attack, vowing to protect Canadian workers and businesses. Similarly, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen expressed regret over the decision, emphasizing that tariffs are detrimental to both businesses and consumers. In an effort to offset the potential backlash, Trump proposed a new incentive for car buyers, allowing them to deduct the interest paid on auto loans from their federal income taxes if the vehicles were manufactured in the United States. However, this deduction could diminish the revenue expected from the tariffs. The new tariffs will apply to both finished automobiles and the parts used in their production, according to a White House official who requested anonymity. These tariffs are in addition to existing taxes and are rooted in a 2019 Commerce Department investigation that cited national security concerns. Under the USMCA trade agreement, the 25% tariffs will only apply to non-U.S. content in vehicles and parts. The administration believes that U.S. automakers have the capacity to increase domestic production to mitigate the impact of the tariffs. Trump has pointed to Hyundai's plans to build a $5.8 billion steel plant in Louisiana as evidence that tariffs can bring manufacturing jobs back to America. Despite these assertions, the reality is that the U.S. automotive industry has seen a decline in domestic manufacturing jobs, with over 1 million people currently employed in the sector, down from about 1.3 million in 2000. Furthermore, the U.S. imported nearly 8 million cars and light trucks last year, valued at $244 billion, with Mexico, Japan, and South Korea as the top sources for these vehicles. As Trump prepares to implement these tariffs, he is also considering reciprocal taxes that would match tariffs imposed by other nations. This could lead to further escalation of trade tensions, as the president has already enacted a 20% import tax on goods from China and additional tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. The potential fallout from these tariffs could extend beyond the automotive industry, affecting global trade and economic growth. The risk of retaliatory measures from other countries looms large, which could ultimately result in higher prices for consumers and businesses alike. The European Union has already indicated plans to respond with tariffs of their own, targeting U.S. goods. As the situation continues to unfold, all eyes will be on how these tariffs impact not only the automotive industry but the broader economy as well. The coming months will reveal whether Trump's bold move will achieve its intended goals, or if it will lead to unintended consequences that could ripple through the global market. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, So hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.